Journey to Hope, number 24, September 2023. Written by Dan Wogemuth, read by Mike Duncan. The Summit. 18 months ago, we began a journey together to hope. That was 23 stories ago. 23 life lessons. 23 opportunities to reflect, ponder, and grow side by side. And while any and every journey to hope is a continuous process, we have in fact come to a point of celebration, a summit. It was a month ago that our 8-year-old grandson embarked on a journey of his own. Abe's parents had invited him to set a personal goal as he wrapped up his 8th year of life. The options were many: Lego projects, a biking trek, maybe a fishing outing. But not Abe. He wanted to climb one of Colorado's 54 14ers. For those of you who have forgotten, a 14,000-foot mountain that populates the Colorado version of the Rocky Mountains. But Abe's goal didn't stop there. No, he wanted to hike to a base camping location, overnight in a tent under the stars, and then start his ascent of the mountain before dawn. And he wanted the climb to be tough. Perhaps a mountain that none in our family had ever climbed before. Now, worth noting, Abe has never climbed any of the 14ers before. None. Zero. And note that the mountain that he and his father selected was Mount Harvard, a round trip of 14 miles with over 4,000 feet of elevation gain. A gutsy challenge for any of us, let alone an 8-year-old. Abe was determined. He told me what he thought about the hike ahead. How good will I feel when I get to the top? Gritty and determined, Abe hiked. With Chris, our son-in-law, at his side, Abe pressed on, hour after hour. Then, within 100 feet of the summit, the terrain became markedly more difficult. Steep, boulder-filled, and a bit frightening. Chris informed Abe that they were already over 14,000, so if he wanted to conclude his hike there, he could certainly say that he had hiked a 14,000-foot Colorado mountain. Abe asked if he could sit and think about it. Chris agreed kindly, but asked simply if it would be okay if he climbed the final stretch, just so that he could report back to Abe on the conditions. While Chris performed his reconnaissance mission, he also engaged a support crew. As he interacted with a few other hikers who had summited the mountain ahead of them and who were now heading down, Chris's simple request of these hikers would be that they speak words of encouragement and hope into the ears, heart, soul, and determination of his 8-year-old son. So they did just that. And when Chris re-engaged with Abe, he was ready to go. Ready to attack the final difficult hike ahead. And summit Mount Harvard he did. 14 miles, 4,000 feet of elevation, an overnight of dispersed camping, and an incredible memory. The journey to hope. Tough, scary, grueling, and yes, often propelled in those last critical steps by words that become fuel for the home stretch, which inspires me to do exactly the same for others who are deciding if the final climb is worth it. The summit awaits. You can do it. Just ask Abe.